Alright, welcome. So today's video is going to be about the squat. It's one of the most asked about topics. People want, obviously, especially women, want really good leg development. They want nice toned thighs, glutes, and all that. So they always ask, how do I squat properly? A lot of people have injuries and actually want to stay away from squatting, but actually one of the best exercises to do when having any knee or leg injury is to actually squat, to be able to go through the range of motion, break up scar tissue, ligament damage, all that. So squatting is a really, really important exercise. It should be a staple of a leg workout, no matter what the injury. If you do happen to have an injury, just squat without any weights. I always ask people, can you sit down and stand up? If you can sit down and stand up, then you can squat. So I'm going to do a couple different squat variations towards the end, but initially we're just going to start with the body weight squat. What you want to do is have your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width, toes pointed out slightly, and keep your chest up high. I always tell people keep your chest up high, especially when you're working with a weight on your back. You don't want to hunch over and then end up putting pressure on the lower back. So keep your chest up high. You actually want to breathe into your diaphragm. So actually, instead of tightening and contracting the abdominals, you actually want to breathe out a little bit to take the pressure off your lower back. And actually, it acts as like a brace or a belt for your lower back. So you just want to feet wide, breathe into your diaphragm, chest up. You want to squat down to about 90 degrees or just a little bit below parallel, and squat down and just repeat. The weight should be more so on your heels than on your toes or the balls of your feet. So you want the weight to be more so on your heels. How it's going to look from the side is, like I said, chest up, breathe into your diaphragm. You want to squat down, boom, and back up. Squat down, boom, and back up just like that. If you want to actually add some weight, say, one of the other biggest questions that I get is, where should the bar placement be? So you want to have the bar high up on your shoulders. That way it rests and is comfortable for you. So high up on your shoulders. I'm using a small bar just so I can demonstrate a little bit easier. And same thing, chest up, breathe into your diaphragm, squat down, below parallel, and back up. Squat down, and back up. This is just if you have equipment or a bar at home or if you're working out at the gym, something like that. So same thing, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width, squat all the way down, below parallel, back up. Squat down, below parallel, back up. One kind of myth that I hear all the time, it's partially true, but it's kind of a myth, is you don't want your knees to go past your toes. Granted, no, you don't want your knees to go too far past your toes, because then it puts all the pressure on your knees, and over time can lead to injury. But people with a larger femur it may be hard for them to sit back far enough, and when they go down, their knees might slightly go past your toes, but slightly, I would say. But for the majority of people, you want to make sure that your knees don't go past your toes. You're sitting back, and the goal is to sit back as if there was a chair there. For instance, I'll use a bench, but we're just going to do the same motion. I'm going to sit back. Notice if I was to sit straight down, like a lot of people will squat, their knees go past their toes, and I wouldn't have been able to sit in the chair. So what you're going to do is sit as if, same motion, as if there's a chair behind you. Same thing. Sit back as if there's a chair behind you. For a lot of people that I can't get form right, I actually just bring out a chair and have them sit down and stand back up a number of times. So if you're at home, if you're practicing, try that variation. Just put a chair, sit down, stand up, sit down and stand up. Then you can obviously use dumbbells and do regular dumbbell squat, boom, boom. You can do a dumbbell front squat, Same thing, boom, all the way down, boom, all the way down. Or you could even do plie squat. Toes pointed out, feet a little bit wider. It's just a couple different angles to where you actually will be able to target the hamstrings a little bit more. So you get full leg development. Just make sure you use a weight that's heavy enough to where it's challenging and you push yourself. So that's it for today's exercise. You know, a couple different variations of the squat, how to squat correctly. And hopefully that helped you out a little bit. So feel free to check out my website, performanceandvitality.com, or check me out on Twitter at Devin Hawes. And